welcome everyone back to Still Color. I'm Kevin, and this time I'm gonna react to Lady Gaga's Mayhem album. Now, if I'm being totally honest, I'm not being the biggest fan of Lady Gaga, and it's not. I'm a bit indifferent when it comes to pop. There's certain pop acts that I kind of like, and there's some of them where I don't care enough. And of course, Lady Gaga's had her infamous run in the 08s where she released tremendous number of hit singles, and I think that period lasted up until I can't remember exactly when as well, where she did exactly, extremely well. Then it kind of put her off where she doesn't have the same sort of dominance that she once had. And during that period of time, I necessarily didn't care much for the type of music that she was making as well. And probably because I'm not part of the target audience as well. But as of, kind of gotten a bit older and my music taste has branched off a little bit more, I don't necessarily mind listening to different type of music, trying to get a different, taste of things, so to say, as well. So this stood out to me, and the only reason why partly why I'm also doing listen to this is also because of the scores that I've seen as well. And I do follow a lot of the Metacritic scores as well, and what the critics do say as well. So I was like, oh wow, Lady Gaga actually released an album that's high scoring. So I was like, you know what, maybe this will be a good first listen video. So yeah, as I'm doing the first listen, I'm gonna be having some of the lyrics up as well on the laptop as well, and do a little bit of background research, try to get the gist of things as well. So without any further introduction as well, so listen to the first song on the album, which is called Disease. Okay, so that was the first record, A Disease. Quite straightforward in terms of the lyrics as well. This person can cure your disease, or I can be, the antidote for whichever alignments that you're facing, or I am the love that you need to make you feel better. That's the way I interpret it in my head anyway. Not a bad record. It's got a nice down. I love the instrumentation there. It is quite interesting as well. Bit naff with the lyrics as well, but slightly playful. Reading again some of the background as well, which is quite interesting in terms what this album is all about. She said that it's a different blends of different genres as well, and also she was interesting saying that how much of it also was inspired by dance music, so and have a dance listen as well. Actually, it's really interesting how you got a lot of pop artists sort of drifting towards that. Or is that, I think when I say that, obviously we got FKA Twigs. I can't say that about Charlie, because Charlie's been doing dance music for a minute now. We got Gaga now. Maybe some other people that I've missed as well. So yeah, we got the genre here, synth pop, disco, dance pop, industrial as well. And she was just talking about like also how this is a quite an introspective album in some way of sorts as well, you know, talking about, you know, parts of herself that she's not really comfortable divulging. Is that the right word? You lot let me know in the comments. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting. But again, that's the first record, Disease. Not a bad song. Not a bad song. I'm not enamored. I'm not like, ooh, it's got some interesting element. Also, one of the collaborators of course, we got Rick Rubin as well. That was, I think this album was mixed with Rick. Or is he one of the producers as well? It's mixed in the studio that Rubin owns as well. And then Guess Saforstein. I can never say his name properly, but his work, I think, with Kanye and Yeezus as well. You know, which is another big boy album, which I really liked as well. And I think some other stuff as well. If I was in Yeezus, could be wrong. But yeah, so she got some interesting stuff as well. So let's see what genre bending is going to continue as well. So next song is Abracadabra. It comes with a video as well. I'm going to listen just to the record. I don't want the video to ruin my conception of what I'm hearing. So yeah, Abracadabra, second song. Let's go. Okay. 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 So this is like the disco record as well. I did like the intro as well. Very funky. Very funky. Oh, let's play. Okay, very catchy song, very funky. I like this one slightly more than I like the first record as well. It's got loads of interesting element to it as well. And I really reading the lyrics, and I also use Genius sometimes as well, because sometimes it's quite hard to just get the full gist of things, you know? So sometimes the good thing about Genius is, I'm sure you lot already know, is that people have already done quite in-depth read on what the record is all about as well. But I think it's about grappling with the uncertainty of life, some parts of it as well, making just do with your destiny, not looking back, and the chorus as well, which I think did sound kind of like a bit like nonsense-ish, but then again, after reading the stuff on Genius as well, I think about a more love and immortal, which is death as well. So in her time she said death or love tonight, along them lines. So yeah, not a bad record. I think this is an interesting record. I like it more than the first one as well. I mean, we'll see. So at least a bit of uptick for me. So let's hear the next record, which is The Garden of Eden. And I think she's done a lot of music videos for this album, so she's been working hard. Hey, let's see, Garden of Eden. Okay. Okay, I love the industrial ending as well, and it's really interesting mixing the industrial sort of sound with like the pop sounds that we were used to in the 2000s as well. I mean, the lyrics are sort of a self-explanatory. She's the person that will take you to the garden, and even, you know, having this like, you know, meeting someone, meeting like strangers, and having that dance, you know, and, you know, the ecstasy of that moment, if the best way I sort of can describe it. It kind of also remind me of another record, FK Twigs, on her recent album as well. She has a song about the similar situation as well. Can't remember the name of that record, but it's on that album as well. Not a bad song. I do find some of the lyrics a little bit naff. I take you to the Garden of Eden. It's a bit of a naff chorus, not necessarily interesting as well. But I do like this, the mix of industrial pop and the dance element to it as well. I think something that I actually haven't heard, you know, industrial mix in that way. Could be also I just haven't heard many industrial dance pop albums as well. So anyway, that was that was Garden of Eden. The next record is Perfect Celebrity. So let's hear that. Okay, that was Perfect Celebrity by Lady Gaga. Not a bad record as well. I think she's well, it's a song about, you know, being a famous, but being a celebrity more importantly. But interesting also, I think one part that I did find quite interesting was she was basically saying an interesting line in which, was it that you tell me that you love me and I just sort of scoff at it, or I can't sort of take that in? Which is what I found to be very interesting as well. And then other lines in which she sort of talks about being the perfect celebrity in terms of being that canvas of the way people sort of look at you or think about you, and in turn treat you as well. So yeah, no, I mean, interesting lyrics and sort of concepts at play. Not a bad song. I like the idea. I like the concept. You know, obviously, I think that's the problem I have sometimes with pop as well. That it can be a bit naff in terms of some of the lyrics as well, some of the chorus as well, because you got the na na. Like, it's a bit. The best word I can put it is in as childish in a way, but there's still obviously within this record some interesting things here at play as well. But yeah. Interesting. I mean, that's like, I think Sam Fender as well, one of his records as well, talked about being a celebrity as well. So yeah, it's interesting to see what the big artists are sort of talking about on their albums as well. So that was Perfect Celebrity by Lady Gaga. Okay, next record we got Vanish Into You. So that's record number 5. Let's hear that. Interesting low vocalization as well, the way they've tracked the vocals in this record and the harmonization. It's really interesting. Also very expensive, I must imagine. I should tell a lot of things are cheaper these days, isn't it, when you got a laptop and stuff. So okay, not a bad record. It seemed like from the lyrics is a bit, she's singing from a relationship aspect that's in impasse. I think, did I say that correctly? In which that things are not moving forward. There is some sort of friction as well, and then her still wanting that person and reminiscing on some of the good parts of the relationship, etc. And almost not forgetting about that person, because I think there was a lyric specifically saying along them words. Not a bad song. Not a bad song. Loud poppy chorus as well. Not a bad record. I'm not necessarily screaming about it, but again, I think it's not necessarily the genre. I just think it's the type of pop music as well. But yeah, that was Can I Vanish Into You? Is that what the name of this? Yeah, Vanish Into You, yeah. Now the next record is Killah. Sound like a hip-hop record. Isn't that a bit stereotypical though? Okay, very like funkish. I think that's what they were talking about, that Prince aspect that they kind of wanted to include on the album, reading the background to what inspired the album as well. Okay. Okay, that was Killah. Not a bad song, not a bad song, not a bad song. I think it's a bit of a twist, or maybe part of me is also thinking that this song is a reference to sex, or it is about sex, or maybe it is about being, you know, about sex, but also that person's going to murder you as well. From reading the lyrics as well. I love that drum break sound. There was a nice sort of change as well. But again, I think the chorus is a bit naffy, you know. I just, you know. It's interesting because listen to Charlie XCX. Some of it is just definitely campy-ish, but or naffy-ish at certain parts, but the way it's sort of executed is what makes it great as well. And I think a lot of the grooves helps it as well. What she's singing about and how she's playing off the choruses as well. But obviously that's in a comparison, probably, you know, different album and different genre and different influences and stuff as well. So not a direct comparison as well, but it's more in comparison in terms of how pop can be executed in a different way and come across in a different way. But yeah, not a bad record. Not a bad record. The next record is ZombieBoy. Let's hear that. We're about to be up all night, waking up with zombies. So put your paws all over me. You zombie boy, you zombie boy. So this is like the disco influence, isn't it? With the Nile Rodgers guitar-esque as well. We've had, you know, loads of people. We had the resurgence of it in 2013, isn't it? With Get Lucky as well. Insane, brilliant record. Yeah. Okay, that was ZombieBoy. I think, again, kind of like another record as well, which was it? Garden of Eden as well, which is about like the ecstasy of sort of finding that stranger that could be the perfect person for you as well. But then obviously in this one, which is probably different from the the Garden of Eden record, was that you can just be part of my fantasy. Like, I don't want to pursue anything further. You can just be part of my fantasy. Interesting line. Not a bad record. I'm not necessarily in love with it. I think it's okay. Probably not for me, which is okay. Well, is there any other observation that I sort of found on that record as well? No, just checking the lyric, not the lyric, sorry, the chart position of some of the other records. But I think one thing that I've like quite discovered or understood listening to this record as well, going by some of the lyrics, is that some of it, a lot of it has to do with like death or certain morbidity as well. You know, we look at the album cover as well, and some of the lines from, you know, whether it be Killah, Abracadabra, the chorus and that part there as well. I think ZombieBoy, for example, as well. And I think there's another record that I'm not necessarily, I think I already said Killah. So it's interesting that she's kind of discussing and talking about that. I wonder what kind of what's the reason for it, in a sense, you know, to have it on so much record as well. And so far, in terms of the way the album is sort of sequenced, it's not necessarily telling a full story, or it's more of a piece or a feel of different stuff as well. So next record is A Love Drug, number 8, A Love Drug. Let's hear it. In the lyrics, it does seem like this record is the breakup song, but I'm still wanting that person. So yeah. Ooh. I feel like there's loads of conventionality as well in terms of in terms of lyrics, in terms of the way this album is executed, you know, in terms of some of its dark theme, kind of a bit like The Weeknd and I Play there as well. Obviously, we get the records about like love as well, you know, that we find a lot on these albums as well. That's done in the same way as well. So a lot of, what's the best word? Genericness or similarity as well, so far. So, yeah. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I like how it's very layered as well. You can hear the guitar and the sort of the synths as well. Very nicely layered. I mean, not a bad record. It's just not a bad song, but because Love Drug, like, kind of, it's a bit naff, like Love Drug. I don't know. I just need your, what's the lyric as well? I just need a dose of the right stuff. I just need a hit of your love drug. It's just, I just feel like it's not difficult to come up with the lyrics like that. Maybe something interesting in the chorus, you know. You gave me something different, you know. You know, there's another record by like Betray My Heart, where D'Angelo, where the chorus of the song goes, "I will never betray my heart," you know. Which is super interesting, in which that, you know what, I will not betray you, because by betraying you, I'm betraying myself, you know, which is an interesting perspective, you know, discussing and talking about, like, when I'm in this particular situation, I am also need to be truthful to myself when me and you are sort of together. And that's the reason why you can trust me, because if I break your heart, I'm breaking my own heart. And I do not want to break my own heart, and therefore that's why I can't break your heart. Which is, again, fantastic, interesting chorus. That's the best way I can describe it as well. You like check out the lyrics on that song as well. It's off the Messiah Black Messiah album. But anyway, that's interesting. Obviously, there's millions of other choruses. That's the first one that came up with me. But I just found this one to be naff. It's just, nah, not great. Good production elements as well. I think that's one of the few positive stuff that I take out of it. Anyway, next record is How Bad Do You Want Me? Again, kind of a play with ZombieBoy, isn't it? Or Killah, about being desired, wanted, you know. Anyway, let's hear that. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's How Bad Do You Want Me. I do love the arpeggiating synths in the beginning as well, and on some of the record as well. It was quite nice and quite interesting elements there as well. The lyrics essentially, from my own understanding, about being with a good guy and you're a bad girl, and that guy desiring and wanting you because you bring like a different sort of badder aspect to it as well, but they hate when things eventually going wrong, and also possibly desiring another girl from this first singer's perspective, or Lady Gaga's perspective, to call it that, asking, do you really like me that much as well? Interesting lyrics, interesting theme. The production, we all come together, not too bad. It's not a bad record. I don't think it's a bad record. I think it's okay. I'm not necessarily enamored by it. I think I really did love the beginning and the intro. I was wondering how they're going to connect it, but that's the way it chose that direction, which is, of course, okay. Not a bad song. Anyway, next record is Don't Call Tonight. Okay. I also feel like a lot of this was like influenced by like The Weeknd and the kind of like electro pop that he's been, the type of sonic sphere, the electro pop sphere that he's been dabbling in. I'm not sure for this recent album, so I heard some of it, but for the previous ones, if I'm correctly as well. So it is interesting to find out that she's dabbling in quite a lot in this space within this album. So yeah. Okay, that was Don't Call Tonight. Not a bad record. I think this record is in a similar vein of Vanish Into You and some of the other breakup records that we've, or some of this relationship difficulty records that we've heard. Like the last record, How Bad Do You Want Me? And this one, I mean, straightforward. Don't call tonight unless you want to hurt me. And it's not because you can. Alongside other stuff as well. I think it was a few interesting lyrics here. And then Mirror, I Get Weak at the girl staring back at me. They're your eyes, they're your eyes. Essentially, you are the reason the reason why I'm looking like this and feeling this way is because of you and your actions as well. I think that's a pretty interesting line as well. I think that is. And another one as well, we twist the knife too many times to say goodbye. That's an interesting line there. You know, essentially, like, you know, there's so much baggage that we can't say goodbye. Is that even possible? You know, is that possible? Because that is one hell of a toxic relationship. Or, you know, in terms of what she's singing about in this particular record. Not a bad song. I feel like this album is also as hella poppy, as hella like looked at what could possibly worked. Manufacture probably is in the wrong way. There's loads of authenticity to it, though. I give her that in terms of the sheenness, the cleanness of it. Different sort of mixes and blends. I do find some of the records have been quite repetitive in terms of what they're all about as well. So maybe amalgamate one of those records to just one or two to speak about those particular theme and obviously make the even more interesting. But nonetheless, I think Don't Call Tonight, it is interesting. I think as a lyrics and as a concept, there is stuff that's interesting by it. The chorus is not too bad, but I think it's something interesting too as well. So not a bad record, not a bad record. The next record we got is Shadow of a Man. So let's hear that. And a lot of it's also because a lot of these records are like 3 minutes, whatever minute long as well. They got quite, you know, loud chorus. The lyrics are, in terms of the way the song and the way they execute, is sort of quite plain, quite sort of structured in a way as well. And it's very repetitive, very easy sort of to sing back to. So of course that's kind of the poppy element to it as well. So yeah, a lot of sheen with the avant-garde-ness in some areas of the album. So yeah. Okay, that was Shadow of a Man. Kind of like a from what I gathered from the lyrics, a affirmation song about once you've got the belief, and I think more specifically as a woman, you know, I'm a woman, I got this belief, I can't be, you know, under the shadow of a man. It could be another industry writer or producer, or male-led industry, you know. Once I've got that feeling, I need to sort of express and, you know, take my sort of rightful sort of destiny and, you know, go out there and do this particular thing. And again, that links a bit to another record which she talks about, I think it's Abracadabra, yeah, in which it is about, you know, taking destiny by the hand, and in this instant as well, linking it more or less to being a woman as well, and I saying, can't ignore the voice within, and a woman can't lose, but you still pretend. Which, I don't know, it's a bit naff in a way. I mean, and that's like the tagline of this video for me. I mean, many, not being non-gender specific, obviously loads of people can lose, loads of people have lost, loads of people, unfortunately, because of also gender issues, if we link it to it specifically, about that, have lost in terms of not being properly represented, being shafted from royalties, money, marginalized, all of it within the music industry as well. But let's not be pedantic. It is a bit of a pseudo feel good in a way, so it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't think necessarily that great. A bit like the FK Twigs record as well. I think the Good Woman, I can't think that's the name of the record as well. Wish we have some of those bit naffness as well. But I get the positivity. I get what she's trying to do with it. I don't necessarily agree with his execution. Next record is The Beast. Who is The Beast? Let's find out about The Beast. Okay, that was The Beast Inside. One thing I like to commend Gaga on this record is that she's singing her heart out. I mean, loads of the records you can hear very good sort of singing as well, and someone really executing the vocals perfectly almost on all of the records as well. Again, lyrics are self-explanatory, you know, somewhat fully like reveal, like showing truly who they are as well. When, you know, it's sort of, I think it's mostly about dancing, and then about, you know, once midnight sort of strikes as well, this person that is maybe sort of subdued and not, well, let's say subdued, and then, you know, they come out, they're ready to dance and sort of move and to be that person as well, you know. Or, I mean, or you know, or it could be a literal one about them being sort of a killer or stuff like that as well. But let's go about with your first example as well. But anyway, not a bad record, not a bad song as well. I do love some of the sort of the hip hop aspect of it as well. It kind of got me a little bit that, what's it called, Drake record as well. Call Me On Myself on the dun dun dun, those little xylophones as well. But obviously, I'm not sure the record is inspired by that. Probably not. Either way, that's the what my thought, what brought up when I was hearing some of that as well. But not a bad record. Next record is Blade of Grass. Lovers kiss in a garden made of thorns. Traces of lonely words This is very melodramatic. It's another bad romance. That's it. Do let me know if I'm actually correct about that comparison. It's got the little. Is that part? I wanna be your bad. Is that it? Oh, am I mixing something else? Let me know. It's got nice horn elements to it in some part of the production. That was Blade of Grass. Interesting record as well. I read some of the background of what inspired this particular song, and she was talking about one of her close friends that died of cancer, and they had their wedding in a backyard as well. And then she talking about her fiance proposing, or wanting her fiance to propose to her in their backyard, and you know, just wrapping using one of the sort of the long grass and using that as a ring, essentially. I actually like what's inspired this song. I also like the sentimentality of it as well. I do think in terms of all the records that I've heard so far, this probably is one that sticks out for me as well. Obviously the sad story plays a part into it as well, in what's inspired this particular record as well. But just the I think the best way to describe it is simplicity in the nature of how such a small act, or what could be a small act, you know, represent quite a lot. You know, the simplicity of life, so to speak, is such a, you know, simple moment that could mean what could be much more than something grand or vast. And of course paired in with the sad story as well that she's mentioning as well, about the fertility of life, etc. as well. And I think about another line here, it doesn't lasting forever or something like that. Yeah, I'll give you something. Yeah, it's not a diamond ring. The air that I'm breathing forever is not enough. A song we both sing as well. So yeah, along the life about, you know, this is the moment that we have, and forever is not enough. It's not gonna be for a long period of, well, not a long period of time, but rather, you know, life is not forever. Maybe that's the best way I can put it in as well. But however, this moment is what we have. The best way I can sort of come up with all. But yeah, I think this is probably the best song that I've heard. Still a bit like, you know, balladish, bit naffish in some aspects as well, but an interesting inspiration and story in some of the lyrics as well. But yeah, the next record is Die With A Smile, and this is the last record, I think. They released, so it's with Bruno Mars. They've released this before. I think this was not necessarily one of the singles, but I just added to it, I think. So let's hear that.
I just woke up from
Last record on the album, Die With A Smile, as well. And I mean, this was actually a big record as well. I mean, it's #2 on Billboard currently at the moment as well. I didn't even know. This is how I'm aware about certain things, but I'm not aware about everything. And it does show. Huge song, went #1 or at least top 20 and all around, even in Thailand. Went #4 in Thailand. Went #3 in Saudi Arabia. #3 in Peru. This is a huge record. Sorry guys, it's not a bad song. It's okay. Kind of similar to the Blade of the Grass, you know. This time, just realizing, if the world's going to end, I want to be next with you. It's very straightforward. It's very, very sentimental as well. Bit naff as well. But you know, again, not bad. Yeah. Big choruses, big guitar, you know, loud, strong guitars, etc. as well. So, not a bad record. Overall, not a bad album. Not my favorite albums that I've heard so far this year in comparison to the FK Twigs Sam Fender record as well. It's got some interesting elements to it as well, even though some of it can be a bit naff. Some of it also feels a bit, I don't even know the best word for it. Is it called industry focused or industry? But not in that particular way, because you can definitely hear that there is maybe, you know, an inspiration from, let's say, someone like The Weeknd, but then also still honing in on some of the sound and some of the blend as well. So my statement is not necessarily all correct as well. I feel like some parts of it, but they're still done, of course, most part of it to a high level. Maybe a lot of it is just the way it's sort of put together. That's maybe my grab in it as well. So not my cup of thing. If I had to give it a score, just listen to it first time, just 6, I think. It's not a bad record. It's got some good elements to it as well. Some of that I mentioned as well. But a lot of it with naffy choruses as well. So yeah, not bad. Guys, do let me know how you felt about this record. Particular stuff that you like, particular stuff that you didn't like. And yeah, don't forget to check out some of our first listens as well by other creators on this channel as well. I can't wait to see what's next that's going to be released by any other artists as well. You know, it seemed to be an interesting year in terms of music as well. So yeah, but anyway guys, I'll leave you lot to it. Peace.